Okay. That was very, very annoying. Okay, so now watching categories. Dance moms, obviously. Okay, really, really pay attention to the scenes with Christy. In there. On the show, at least, you know, you're the type of person who we can't get enough of and are drawn to and we like because we really, don't like, you know. Can you understand that? Okay. So, I'm going to be saying a lot of those things along those lines, just so you know. Okay, now, pay attention to all the things said. One really, really big thing is drawing the connections, and that's part of what the quiz is going to be about. So, Dance Moms is number one. Number two is the movie that we're going to be watching this evening. And all of you have seen it before. And I believe the first time that this mentioned has seen it is November 2015, which is, and I'm sure that you've seen this movie, I'm sure that the majority of people in the world have seen it. And I will not put the full title, so I'll just pretend that it's not part of the series. The Deathly Hallows Part 1. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Have you seen it? Oh, okay. You read all the Harry Potter series? Yeah. I actually have the first 3 books, but I never really read them. I never did. Maybe I should get around to that sometime. But I have a whole long list of things I need to read, so it'll be a while, but I've seen all the movies, so probably not the first thing, but so, anyway, The Deathly Hallows Part 1. Why do I bring this up? It's very, very, very random, isn't it? Why I would talk about Christy, and talk about The Deathly Hallows. We're going to be seeing the movie this evening, as we've seen it before. It's all about kind of the journey of finding the Horcruxes and the outstations, I want to say. And also, this is going to tie into Leslie Ackerman, who was here before. Remember, we went to Goodwill, we went to Bed Bath & Beyond and Walmart while she was here. I want you to look at a really, really random scene in the movie, in The Deathly Hallows Part 1. So remember the scene when it was the scene when Harry Potter, might be in the movie, not in the book, I don't know, and the other two were sitting in a restaurant, and they were having coffees and they were having little drinks and, talk about the situation. There was a typical waiter who came up and asked them what they wanted to drink, and that was probably the last thing that they cared about and that their mind was on. So she went back, prepared it, and then some, I suppose, people broke in and tried to magically attack them in the restaurant. I don't know what happened. Of course, Harry and the other two fired back. And the interesting thing is the woman who was, served the coffees and everything, the waiter, in the back of the kitchen, earbuds on, completely blind and unaware of what was going on. So, why do I bring that up? Well, that is a very, very small resemblance to Christy. So, then the next thing, watching. A YouTube video on night which is the Holocaust Memoir by Elie Wiesel book review. And and the person who does the book review, I will put it on my page under the Christy Hunt tab, and the video will be there for you to watch, to be able to see and hear the resemblances. The woman on this video, you're gonna find and hear a resemblance to her book review. She has a slightly higher voice, but she is a lot like Chrissy. So, then another thing that we're going to look at, which is a very, very small little side subject, is, oh, I know, The Secret of Kells. The Secret of Kells, which is a movie that we've seen also about the Book of Kells. The Book of Kells, which is an Irish art book, and of course, the story about, Brendan trying to find the ink to, craft the empty page of that book, and the Vikings and the Northmen, all that kind of thing. And you should hear the very, very beginning of the movie, because, it definitely has one of those good, setting the scene, lines that, that's recited. So, The Secret of Kells movie. We might or we might not watch it. We might see it tomorrow, we might see it the next day. I don't really know. So, that is all that I can really think of under the watch category. Now I'm going to talk about the, I write big, what can I say? So, the weather category. Today, or Sunday. I'll just write it good, in short, and I'll talk about that later. Then, over here we have, books, reading, and some of this we're not going to read. The books are, well, for starters, the Book of Kells. We're not going to look at that. We might, look at the, document of that. The Deathly Hallows book. And then Harry Potter. A anthology that goes along with that. And this movie's a great movie to watch on days like today because it's rainy and it's dark, and I would not want to watch The Deathly Hallows sitting on a thin stool. Definitely the type of movie that's really perfect for a sleepover setting. On Friday nights or something like that. In the fall. So, very, very nostalgic to think about that. So, the Deathly Hallows book, a book that was in the Deathly Hallows that was, remember the scene with that, that minister who, looked really bold and had that, accent, where he, spoke at the beginning, and maybe when I tell you, then you'll get some recollection, So he sounded like, these are dark times, there's no denying. That person, the scene where he came to the house, and he gave Hermione, Ronald, and Harry the gifts. I listed them in perfect order, of what Dumbledore left before he died. and Hermione Granger's gift. And this really brings me back to the nostalgia of the weekend of October 5th and 6th of last year. So, the book was The Tales of the Beadle the Bar. And you can find the PDF of this on the internet, and it has the different stories which you can read, including The Tale of the Three Brothers, which is the most important, which is the one in the movie, which she actually wrote a book to, go along with it. So, The Tale of the Beadle the Bar, Barn, I think, I don't know. Tales of Beadle the Bar, which includes Three Brothers, with Wizard and the Hopping Pot, those types of stories, which we will be looking at. Okay, we might read a couple, I don't know. Then, obviously, Night. We're not going to be reading that one because I have enough stuff going on, but we will talk about it and we will refresh, our time, with it a couple of years ago. It's very, very interesting how the name is pronounced, how it's spelled, because it is Jewish. So anyway, weather. Today was Sunday. I wanted to make it, shorter than, say, I don't know, just describing the weather. So I'll put yesterday. I feel like that's a little bit more accurate. So yesterday, or today, or Sunday. So I'm going to talk about Sunday. Sunday's weather was partly, particularly the late afternoon. Partly sunny, partly cloudy, hot, summer, that kind of light. And another thing that we're going to be getting to is Memorial Day in 2017. And also the eclipse. Remember that day where we all was in Edmonton Road? I think it was in August of 2017. Of 2016. Wait, yeah, 2017. We saw the the eclipse. That's also, so the weather was partly sunny, partly cloudy, hot, summer, kind of middle ground in between. That weather, really puts to mind Christy. And I don't know why. All of this is, and I want to use the comparison. Deborah Silverman, uses the comparison of 4 tires on a car. I'm going to use the comparison for this as an ink blot test. When you do ink blot tests, you have ink on pieces of paper, and it just makes different shapes, and people see all different kinds of things. It's more than that. It's not only seeing, but it's hearing, and it's thinking and recollecting. All those types of things. So, I have a document that, I'm not going to really show you, but I have a document of pictures and things that I see and I hear from Christy. Okay, the other type of weather is, weather like this dark, rainy, overcast, dreary. Although one of the things that we talked about with Leslie is the wishy blinds, which are the little blinds, not the Chinese blinds, but the wishy blinds, rainy weather, that type of thing. Okay? Oh, Susanna as well. So, Leslie's customs and weather are, very, very similar to Christy's customs and weather. They kind of go off each other, where we have Leslie, and then that, that bridges us over to Christy with a Y. So, I want to talk about this. I don't want to get into the pictures because I don't have the document pointed out, but I'm going to show you the document. And I want you to draw connections in some way for all of the pictures in that document to Christy and Dance Moms, okay? So I will email that document to you. These are all things that I see. Face pictures, which are the random images that that we see, when we're looking at somebody. Side subjects, the thing that we do on the side in addition and connecting to resemblances, and then the side subjects of those resemblances, and then tying them together. Voice, quality, appearance, all those types of things. Setting, weather, occasions, imagine occasions, all those types of things. So, all of those things you will find. I will be, I have all of the terms listed out on the document. All of the things that you're going to be looking for on the quiz. And we've done this, you've all taken this quiz before many times. We looked at it for a lot of our mentoring guests, Kathy Stein, for example. This is something that no matter how many times we do it, nobody understands it. And there's no right and wrong answer to this. It's not objective. It's subjective. It's whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you think. So we'll do this over and over again. This is what we look at for all of our mentoring guests. So all the terms will be listed, and don't use my images as cheating. Don't use my images off of that document to copy off of, plagiarize, call your own on the quiz. So I will be labeling which is which. For example, there's an image of Night by Elie Wiesel. I would, and I have that labeled on there. I have that labeled on there. Side subject and resemblance connecting. Okay? By accent and by voice quality. Okay, so it's that specific. So you have the little quiz. The things that you're going to be doing. I really should be clear about this. So what you're going to be doing is to go along with the quiz, because it's going to be asking you questions like, who does this person look like? Or who does this person sound like? Or what occasion do you imagine yourself, what setting do you imagine yourself with this person? What face picture do you see? All those types of things. And explain why and connect it to the person. And I'm going to be eliminating astrology for this, because that's the new way of how we look at things. Don't worry about the astrology. Okay? The quiz is in a Google form. Okay? I'm going to be emailing you the I actually have the quiz on my page. The on the Christy Hunt homepage. You're going to find that quiz on there. Then you're going to be on the tab and then the link to it. Then you're going to be finding Christy Hunt analysis, which is going to be a document that you'll be opening and titling and finding it just like I did, finding images that you see or you hear or you think off of Christy. Finding them, putting them together, preferably centering, Christy. I didn't do that with mine. And then, saying what they are and how they're connected. So for example, this random image, all these are random images come together. What do they have to do with each other? They all revolve around Christy. So, you don't have to do the images to each other. You just have to worry about connecting all of them in the melting pot towards omitting guest. Labeling. Which is which. This is a face picture. And explain why. Just by simply saying, this is what I see when I look at this person. Maybe be specific for the, specific facial features. Maybe labeling, resemblance, or, and you can, mix them up where you can add one, two or more. But you need to explain why, be specific, and tie it back. Okay? It's very, very difficult to explain how this works because it's so broad that I didn't even know how to explain all these things. But just do your best with it. Put them all together and, look at the list of terms. The list of terms are on the document. Okay? I've already made the document for you. You can rename it. List of terms on it. File, make a copy, and then you can add your own things to that. Okay, so that's after you do the quiz. The analysis is going to be linked to the quiz. Okay? So, I really don't want to have to go through what the quiz is going to look like. But it's going to have, it's basically going to probably mix up the images and say the questions based off of the terms. And it's, you and you as, being personal and unique with it. So, that's what I want you to all get done. Okay, by tomorrow afternoon at about 3:50. Okay, and then also remember American Lit Group. You're going to be coming to me tomorrow, okay? And I'll put the time for that of how it's going to work. Remember this evening, movie theater. We're going to be going to the movie theater. And we're going to be watching the movie. You're going to be seeing it with us. And also remember to continue watching the Dance Moms as well. Okay, so try to see one or two more of those episodes. So, that's really all that I have. It's basically, everything and nothing. You can talk about specific things like food or clothing or I don't know, monuments. Whatever it is, it is infinite. So, what is going to be going on is you're all going to be getting to know and talk to Christy in the social room, getting to introduce yourselves and have that quality time. And And I have asked her in the letter to change her hair to the original brown that it was and you did, so that's really, really great. That's what we ask of, certain people that are mentioned because there's certain times, where they're, special, those moments that, drive me to bring them here. So, also, a couple of the resources to use is the Dance Moms episodes. Okay, so the episodes that you were watching. Go in and find all of the scenes that you can from Christy. Okay, and maybe you can, go off the beaten path and, do clips of episodes that you haven't seen yet. But the most important thing is looking at those random lines and tying it to what you see, what you think, what you feel, what what makes sense to you. And then put that on the document. Okay? So, without further ado, does anybody have any questions? Okay. Wonderful. We're all good. Alright. Good. They will both be due at the same time. Yep. Okay. Wonderful. And you don't need to do it unless you want to do yourself. Okay. I don't want to push you into doing that. It's, if you want to do it, look at yourself. So this is what we do with the Mented. We analyze people with the, the things that we, think, but we don't really, maybe we tell others, this is my way of telling others about what I think. So, the hidden internal stuff that we're trying to just get out of you and share, really. So, yeah. Also, the horoscope, I hope that you've been keeping up with her horoscopes. And I also want you to try to get into the Star community. Maybe you can join Deborah Silverman's Star community. Deborah Silverman is, who we as an Edmonton follow, with the astrology. So we watch horoscopes and by the way, by the end of this, you're going to be getting some copies of books, the books on my list here. So that includes Night, Tales of the, Beetle the Bard, which I don't think I have a copy of. The, the only, which one, okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to, I think that my second in command, head curator, is grabbing those books. So I will be grabbing those books for you. Okay, so Night, Tales of Beetle the Bar, the Deathly Hollows, and also The Missing Element by Deborah Silverman, which is her astrology book, Inspiring Compassion with the Human Condition. Have you heard of it? Okay. So, it's a spiritual book that every single one of us have. Okay, that I will be giving you. Okay, it's about your natal chart and the 4 elements and how balanced they are. And maybe later along the lines, I'll ask you to go to astro.com and put your birth information in so that you can find the, pull up the chart, and so then we can see, and then we can look at your chart and talk about it. So that's really where we're at right now. Okay. Yeah, and I really do not have anything else. So you're going to get copies of all of these things, and I might have a copy of all of these books as well, so I'll clone them so that you can have, copies of all 4 of these books. Okay, so just as a little memento for your time being here. And a lot of my guests turn into Edmonton people. The minor ones don't really, but the major ones that really strike a chord in me, they become Edmonton people. The ones that I feel are the beloved ones, to those extents, become the Edmonton people. Okay, and there's certain things of how this Edmonton works that I agree with, I stand by. At the same time, I disagree equally. Like when I lose interest in the Edmonton guest or person, in the Edmonton guest, then they leave. So that's how it works. So, and you also remind me of my aunt as well. One of my aunts, because you kind of look and sound a little bit like her as well. Not by much. So anyway, everybody, you can all leave. Adios. By the way, Sun in Virgo, Moon in Gemini today.